Hello, everyone.
Welcome back to English Boost Zone.
Today's episode is for B1 and B2 level English learners who want to speak more naturally, more confidently, and more correctly in everyday English conversations.
And today, we're tackling 3 words that confuse almost every English learner on the planet.
3 small words, huge difference.
Can, could, would.
You have seen them 1,000 times. You use them every day. But do you always know which one to choose?
Most learners do not, and it is not their fault.
Because nobody ever explained the feeling behind each word.
Not just the grammar rule, the actual feeling.
And feelings are what make language natural.
Today, we're changing that completely.
In this episode, you are going to learn exactly what can, could, and would mean, where each one belongs, and how to choose between them instantly and naturally in real conversation.
We're covering each word separately with clear meanings, real examples, and natural sentences you can use immediately.
And at the end, we bring all 3 together in one real conversation, so you can feel the difference between them in action.
No complicated grammar rules, no confusing charts.
Just clear, simple, natural English.
I'm Jake,
I'm Maya.
and this is English Boost Zone. Let us begin. But before we start, let us answer the most important question first.
Why do these 3 words confuse so many learners?
Because they look similar, they feel similar, and in some situations, any one of the 3 could technically work.
But they do not mean the same thing.
Each one carries a different feeling, a different weight, a different relationship between the speaker and the listener.
Can is direct, present, confident.
Could is softer, more polite, more careful.
Would is warm, hypothetical, considerate.
And choosing the right one in the right moment is what makes English sound natural and fluent.
So let us go through each one carefully. And once you understand the feeling behind each word, the right choice will start to come naturally.
Section 1. Can.
And let us start with the most important thing to remember about can. Can is confident. Can is present. Can deals with right now.
Can has 3 main uses, and once you see them clearly, can becomes one of the easiest words in English to use correctly.
Use number 1, ability, something you are physically or mentally able to do right now.
I can speak 3 languages. She can run 10 kilometers without stopping. He can solve complex problems very quickly.
Notice the confidence. I can is not asking for permission. It is stating a fact about present ability. Direct, clear, certain.
Use number 2, casual permission, when you are asking if something is allowed in an informal, everyday situation.
Can I sit here? Can we leave early today? Can I borrow your pen?
These are relaxed permission requests between people who know each other or in casual environments where formality is not needed.
One important note, some grammar books say use may for permission, not can, and technically that is correct in very formal writing.
But in everyday natural spoken English, almost everyone says can I, not may I.
So do not worry about this too much. In casual conversation, can is completely natural and completely accepted.
Use number 3, general possibility, when something is theoretically possible or sometimes true.
Learning a new language can take years. Traveling alone can be incredibly rewarding. The weather here can be completely unpredictable.
Can in these sentences means it is possible that this happens in certain conditions at certain times. It is not always true, but it can be true.
So the key feeling for can: direct, present, confident, ability right now, casual permission, general possibility.
Let us hear can in a real quick exchange.
Can you drive? We need to get to the station.
I can drive, yes, but I cannot drive for more than 2 hours without a break. Can we stop somewhere on the way?
Of course we can. It can get quite busy on that road, so let's leave early.
Feel that directness. Feel that confidence. That is can in its natural home. Section 2. Could.
And here is the first thing most learners get wrong about could.
Could is not simply the past tense of can.
Yes, it can be used for past ability, but could is so much richer than that.
Could is softer than can, more polite, more careful, more considerate.
Could has 4 beautiful uses.
Use number 1. Past ability. Something you were able to do at a specific time in the past.
When I was younger, I could run really fast. She could speak French perfectly when she lived in Paris. He could stay awake for 20 hours when he was a student.
These are abilities that existed in the past. They were real, they were genuine, but they belong to a different time. Could places ability firmly in the past. Can places it in the present.
Use number 2, polite requests. And this is where could becomes one of the most powerful words in your everyday English.
Compare these two sentences. Can you help me with this? And could you help me with this?
The first is direct and casual. The second is warmer, more considerate, more respectful.
Could you adds a layer of softness. It signals that you are aware you are making a request and that you genuinely appreciate the other person has a choice.
This distinction is enormously important in professional English, at hotels, in meetings, with people you do not know well. Could is almost always the better choice.
Could you tell me more about this position? Could you give me a moment to think? Could you repeat that, please?
Every one of those sounds considerably more professional and more respectful than the can version.
Use number 3. Past possibility or uncertainty. Something that was possible in the past but did not necessarily happen.
She could have taken the earlier train but decided to wait. He could have been a professional musician. They could have won the match if the conditions had been different.
Could have. Those two words together open up a whole world of meaning. They describe possibilities that existed but did not become reality. Things that were within reach but were not taken.
Could have is the language of reflection, of what might have been. Learn it and use it.
Use number 4. Suggestions and ideas. Gently placing an option on the table without pressure.
We could try that new restaurant on Friday. You could speak to your manager about it. They could consider extending the deadline.
Could in these sentences is not commanding. It is not even strongly recommending. It is softly offering a possibility. Take it or leave it. And that non-pushy quality is exactly why could is so widely used in professional and diplomatic English.
So, the key feeling for could: softer, more polite, more tentative, past ability, polite requests, past possibility, and gentle suggestions.
Quick exchange using could.
Could you take a look at this report before the meeting?
Of course, I could do it this afternoon, though I could not get to it before lunch, I'm afraid.
This afternoon is perfect. And could you let me know if anything needs changing?
Absolutely. We could also ask Sarah to review it. She could give us a completely different perspective.
Feel the softness. Feel the consideration. Feel how every could there is warmer and more professional than can would have been. That is the power of could in real English communication.
Section 3. Would. And the most important insight of this entire episode.
Would is special. Would does something that can and could cannot do as well.
Would deals with the hypothetical, with conditions, with imagined situations. and with the deeply polite.
And mastering would is what separates intermediate English from advanced English.
Would has four main uses.
Use number 1, polite requests and offers, when you want to be exceptionally considerate and warm.
Would you like some help with that? Would you mind if I opened the window? Would it be possible to rearrange our meeting?
Every one of those is warmer and more refined than the could or can version. Would in requests does not just add politeness, it adds genuine consideration for the other person's feelings and preferences.
Would you like? These three words together are perhaps the most important phrase in polite English.
Would you like a seat? Would you like me to explain that again? Would you like something to drink?
Use it in restaurants, in offices, in homes. Anywhere you want to offer something with real warmth and without any pressure.
Use number 2, conditional sentences, when you talk about something that would happen if a certain condition were met.
If I had more time, I would learn Japanese. If she studied harder, she would pass the exam. If they offered me the job, I would accept immediately.
Notice the structure: if plus past tense in the first part, would plus base verb in the second part. This is the second conditional, and it is used constantly in natural, everyday English speech.
It expresses imagined situations, hypothetical possibilities, things that are possible but not currently happening.
And here is the key insight about would. The reason would sounds so sophisticated in English is because it signals that you are thinking beyond the immediate moment. You are imagining, you are reasoning, you are considering possibilities that have not happened yet.
That quality, the ability to discuss hypothetical situations naturally and fluently, is one of the clearest markers of genuinely advanced English.
Use number 3, past habits, when you describe something you used to do regularly in the past.
When I was a child, I would spend every weekend at my grandmother's house. In the evenings, he would always make a cup of tea and read for an hour. During university, she would study in the library until it closed.
Would here has a warm, nostalgic quality. It is similar to used to, but with a slightly more personal and reflective feeling. It often appears in storytelling, in personal descriptions, in any situation where someone is looking back on a period of their life with affection.
Use number 4, preferences. Would rather and would prefer.
I would rather stay in tonight than go out in the rain. She would prefer a window seat if one is available. We would rather take the scenic route, even if it takes a little longer.
Would rather and would prefer both express a personal preference between options. They're gentle, personal, and non-confrontational. They say what you want without demanding it.
So the key feeling for would: warm, hypothetical, considered, polite requests, conditional situations, past habits, and personal preferences.
Now, let us bring all three together in one real, natural conversation. Listen carefully. Notice when can is used, when could is used, and when would is used, and feel the difference between them.
Ready?
Ready. So, would you like to go out for dinner tonight? I was thinking about that Italian place.
I would love to, yes, though I would rather go somewhere quiet if possible. It has been a long week.
I completely understand. Could we go somewhere a little off the main street? There's a lovely place I know that would be perfect.
That would be wonderful. What time were you thinking?
Would 7 work for you?
7 would be perfect. Oh, can you book it? I cannot get to my phone right now.
Of course I can. And if they can't fit us in at 7, I could try the place around the corner instead. They can usually accommodate last-minute bookings.
Perfect. If the weather stays nice, we could even walk there. It can be such a lovely route in the evening.
I would enjoy that, actually. Let's do it.
Did you feel the 3 different feelings? Can was direct and confident. Can you book it? Of course I can. They can usually accommodate last-minute bookings. Could was softer and more considerate. Could we go somewhere quieter? I could try the place around the corner. We could even walk. Would was warm and hypothetical. Would you like to go? I would love to. I would rather go somewhere quiet. That would be wonderful.
3 words, 3 completely different feelings, all working together in one natural conversation.
Here's the simple summary to take away today.
Can, direct. present, confident. Use it for ability right now, casual permission, and general possibility.
Could, softer, more polite, more careful. Use it for past ability, polite requests, past possibilities, and gentle suggestions.
Would, warm, hypothetical, considerate. Use it for polite offers, conditional situations, past habits, and personal preferences.
3 words, 3 feelings. And now, they're yours.
Here's your challenge for this week. Write 3 sentences, one using can, one using could, one using would. Make them personal, make them real, about something happening in your actual life right now.
Drop your 3 sentences in the comments below. We read every single one, and we want to see these 3 words used in your real daily English.
If today helped you, subscribe to English Boost Zone, like this episode, and share it with one person who's learning English.
Next week, we're covering will versus going to, 2 more words that confuse learners constantly, and we're making them simple.
You won't want to miss it.
Until then, keep it simple. Can for now, could for soft, would for warm.
And remember, every time you choose the right word in the right moment, that's not just grammar, that's fluency.
I'm Maya.
I'm Jake, and this is English Boost Zone. See you next time.